You're listening to the Digest This podcast, and I'm your host, Bethany Cameron. Do you eat 3 meals a day, or do you eat 2 meals a day? Or maybe you're just snacking all day long, or you're eating 3 meals and snacks in between. There's so many different routines that we all have today. And I specifically want to talk about the 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And why do we eat 3 meals a day? And I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, man, I need to do some research on this because my stomach's always upset if I eat 3 meals a day. And it always wasn't like this. So stick with me here, okay? I've got a recommendation that not only will add sweetness to your life, but also add loads of health benefits to your body. Manuka contains powerful nutrients to support immunity and gut health. This Manuka honey is sourced from New Zealand, is tested for heavy metals, glyphosate, and toxins, which you can scan with your QR reader to see the results for the exact container you purchased. This honey contains 3 times more antioxidants than your typical sweetener and also contains a special antibacterial compound called MgO. It's hard to find a Manuka honey with an MgO above 500, but Manuka guarantees an MgO of 850 or above. It's easier than ever to try Manuka honey. Just head on over to manukora.com/digest to save $70 on their starter kit, which comes with an 850 plus MgO Manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, and a wooden spoon, plus a guidebook. Go to manukora.com/digest to save $70 plus $25 worth of free gifts. That's manukora.com/digest. Pooping, constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating, farting, all that. That's pretty common. And we are all human. We all do it. We all experience it. And it's something that I talk about quite often on this show. And another thing I talk about often is seed probiotic. And this is something I have been personally taking for about 3 years now. It is a pre and probiotic capsule all in one. And it's something I talk about on my Instagram too. And I always recommend it to everyone that asks me what probiotic would I recommend, and that is Seed's DS01. And if you're one of the millions that have been on the fence about Seed and have been curious to try it, now is the time because my listeners get 25% off their first month. Just go to seed.com/digest and use code 25digest to get 25% off your first month. Again, that's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/digest and use code 25digest. Every morning, you immediately head from your room to the kitchen, filling a bowl with cereal and milk, or perhaps you scramble some eggs, toast up some sourdough with some avocado. Once you finish eating breakfast, you pack a lunch, which you'll eat at exactly 12:30 p.m. Upon arriving home from work or school, you prepare a dinner that you'll consume probably around 6:30 p.m. Does this routine sound familiar to any of you? Well, if you're like most, you consume 3 meals at roughly the same time every single day. But surprise, surprise, it hasn't always been this way. Colonialism is both an outstandingly obvious yet equally concealed superstructure which dictates so much of how our lives are lived. When, what, and even how we eat often seems to revolve around the ways humans have adapted to the modern mindset. But are there health implications of this routine, and what current efforts exist to dismantle like all of this? I don't want to call it baloney, but all of this structured system. Now, structured meal times can be actually very helpful. They were to me at one point in my life. It was basically helping me not to think about anything. Like I was too busy, and I'm still busy, but I'll get to that. But I needed more structure in my life. And as I'm older, I'm like, I don't really need too much structure. But again, we'll get into that. So whether you are someone that needs more of a disciplined meal plan, or if you need a little bit more flexibility. I feel like this is very, very beneficial to understand where the 3 meals came from. So I want to give a little bit of context here. So stick with me. So when European colonizers first came to North America, they found that their dieting habits differed greatly from those of the indigenous people. Native North Americans would eat when they were hungry intuitively and with a more traditional hunter-gatherer diet, which is commonly known today as maybe the paleo diet or something very similar. This would require food to be eaten when the opportunity arose due to the relative scarcity and sources. And of course, back then they didn't have refrigerators. Of course, they had things like that. But I'm thinking like way back then, you just had to find, hunt, eat what you had, and then maybe it would be left over the next day, but that was it. So in the process of industrialization, they began to impose the 3 meals a day system. So my question is, so what did people, I don't want to say cavemen, but people back then, long ago, what did they do? No refrigerators. They hunted and ate when they could. And guess what? If they weren't hungry, they didn't eat. I think this also plays into fasting. If anyone has ever fasted, whether that's just for a day, maybe it's just intermittent fasting, or maybe you've done it for a few days in a row, most likely you have felt amazing. And I even find myself having more energy when I have fasted. And I'm like, where's all this energy coming from? It's like your cells are rebuilding, they're rejuvenating, and your body is using the energy that you put into your body like 2 days ago. And think about this. So why do you feel or have more energy when you've fasted? And why do you feel sluggish, tired, weighed down when you just ate? At least this is my experience, not all the time, but if you've ever felt like that, like, man, I'm a little bit tired now. I need to take a nap after every time you eat. And if you fasted, again, I keep going in circles here, but fasting has amazing health benefits. It's been shown to help reverse type 2 diabetes. It can help kill off parasites, obviously detoxing, even repairing our gut lining. It only takes a few days to repair our gut lining if we've been fasted. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it could even take up to 2 weeks. So I don't recommend fasting for 2 weeks, but all that to say is giving your gut a break in digesting really helps it to rebuild and repair itself. If it's constantly eating, chewing, digesting, all of that, then there's really no room for your gut to heal and rejuvenate, because it's always digesting, it's always working. And then all of that energy goes towards digesting the food and not repairing your gut and your gut lining and all of that. So my question is, was 3 meals a day a marketing scam by the breakfast, lunch, and dinner companies? I want you guys to think for yourself here. And I'm always pushing for you to think for yourself and really wonder, and also ask yourself, am I hungry at every meal? Or am I just eating because it's lunchtime? Or am I just eating because it's dinner time? Or am I just eating because I'm waking up and I guess I'm supposed to eat because it's breakfast, right? I myself too, and I still do it. I'm not, I'm not saying I don't, but I'm like, oh, I guess it's lunchtime. I guess I should eat something, even though I'm not really hungry. Or honestly, I'm never hungry at dinner time. And I think it's because I've had enough to eat through the day where, I think lunch is my biggest meal of the day. And so I typically get a lot within my lunchtime. It just works for me. Again, everyone's different. Do what works for you. But what works for me is having, I don't want to say skipping breakfast, because I don't really eat anything in the morning. I do have my either coffee or tea or dandy blend or matcha or something. And I put a good amount of fat from ghee or butter, blend it. You guys know the drill. Also, gelatin or collagen into my coffee. So there's protein, there's fat, and that honestly sustains me until 12 o'clock, maybe sometimes 11. depending on what I've had the previous day, right? So all of that to say, I'm really never hungry. And after I drink my like morning little latte, I'm just not hungry. And I honor that. And I've even tried, I was like, man, maybe I just need to like jumpstart my system. Like, so this has been going on for years and I've like dabbled with it. And I've tried to eat like around whatever, 8, 7, 8 a.m. If you guys think that's too early for you, I get up at like 4:30 or 5. So 7, 8 a.m. is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a long time after I've woken up, but still, I get queasy if I eat some like solid foods. And I don't think my digestion has woken up yet. It's whatever it is. Maybe I haven't gone to the bathroom, something like that. And so I'm like, okay, this is just not working for me anymore. And I'm not going to force it. And if this is you and you're like, yes, that's me. Why do I get so nauseous when I eat breakfast in the morning? Well, I do. I get nauseous when I eat breakfast in the morning and I just wait until like 11 or 12 o'clock. Obviously I've had my drink in the morning, but other than that, it suits me. And granted, there are a lot of calories in my latte. I don't really count, but I mean, I would, if I had to guess, it's probably roughly 400 to 500 because I do add a lot of fat, but it just suits me. And so I want this bite of knowledge, even though it's a quick one. I want you guys to think about when you're hungry and why are you actually eating? Is it because if it's a social thing, that could be great. That could be really beneficial for your health, honestly. I mean, being social is very beneficial. But if you're just like, oh, I guess it's 6 o'clock, I guess I should eat, even though I'm pretty full or even though I'm like not even hungry, I had a good lunch, then maybe just dabble with it and see how you feel. Maybe eating just something light, or maybe having some bone broth or something. Now, again, this regimen may suit you. It can often also not suit you. So I can only speak from my own experience, but it's just, again, something I want you guys to think about. And going back to the whole like way back when, like when did the 3 meals a day actually arise? So obviously there's breakfast companies, there's lunch companies, there's dinner companies, and they're trying to market to you. And also now there's snack companies. They're like, hey, when are you going to have your snack? You should have your midday snack. You should have your mid-morning snack. When did this happen? I mean, it hasn't always been this way. And now if you think about it, just to give you another analogy, now it's very common to be like, oh, so when do you go on social media? So, how long are you guys on social media a day? Or when do you go on social media? Like that's now a part of everyone's day. It's like, oh yeah, I typically go on like after 5 or, first thing in the morning. And then I go through my day. Like everyone has their quote, social media routine, if you want to even call it that. And I don't know, like 20 years ago, we didn't even have that. We didn't have a social media routine. It's just become a part of our lives and the culture now. And so back then, they didn't have the luxury of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks and dessert even. Like dessert is now considered like part of the daily routine for some families. Again, dessert, it's not that it's wrong. Obviously, I have my fair share of dessert. But what I'm getting at is try to think outside the box and honor your body. If it's hungry, definitely eat. If it's not, don't force it, because maybe that's your body telling you, hey, I've had enough. I need to rest. I need to sleep. I know I can't sleep if I'm overly full. In fact, the next day, I even feel worse. So again, think about who created this and why we even do it in the first place. And if you sit down for lunch and you're like, man, I'm not hungry, maybe have a snack, maybe just socialize, who cares? But I'm going to wrap it up. But I just wanted you guys to think about the 3 meals a day. Maybe you need 5 meals a day. I don't know. Again, I'm not saying you should do this or that, but I want you to really think, if you are very full and just never hungry, or you're just satisfied, then maybe that's your body telling you, hey, I'm good for today. And every day is different. For me, it's very different. Some days I'm ravenous, depends on my cycle. So I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. Thanks for listening to my rant and my thought process, and I hope that it sparked a thought process in you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Wellness Loud production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To check out more shows by my team, go to wellnessloud.com, and to email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.
Are you ready to rock middle age? I'm Dr. Tina Moore, Gen X truth teller and holistic physician. On the Dr. Tina Show, one of Apple Podcast's top alternative health shows, I share what actually works for metabolic health, hormones, and strength, backed by decades of clinical results, not trends. From loving the gym and hitting your protein goals to peptides and microdosing GLP-1s, it's all done the right way, not the hype way. Because menopause doesn't have to suck if you're fit. New episodes every Thursday, produced by Drake Peterson and Wellness Loud.